Hey, I'm Bill Umansky. Today I'm going to train you on how to close on a potential client who is looking for legal representation on a traffic ticket. What we do. This is a training script so that a client relations person or salesperson is able to intake a traffic ticket and be able to close on that person and be able to bring them into the firm as a client so that we can help them with their traffic citation. Why do we provide a training tool? We provide this training tool so that you're able to develop confidence when you are speaking to potential clients who are looking for legal representation concerning their traffic citations. How we do it. A potential client will call the Umansky Law Firm looking for representation regarding a civil traffic citation. First thing that you need to do is to ascertain whether in fact it really is a traffic citation or a criminal citation. The reason being that traffic citation is going to cost the person a lot less than a criminal citation. So your first goal is to ascertain what the person is being charged with. If it is truly a traffic citation, then you will follow the rest of this script. If it is a criminal citation, we will refer you to another video on how to sell criminal cases. One quick way of determining whether it's a traffic citation or a criminal citation is to determine if the ticket requires a mandatory appearance in court. If the ticket requires a mandatory appearance in court, it could very well be a criminal violation, which then we would refer you to your criminal law sales script because that's a different way of handling cases. However, there are a couple civil cases that require mandatory court appearances that are not criminal. In those cases, we still charge more than a traffic ticket, but less than a criminal citation. Examples of a civil citation that require a court appearance is an accident with death, which we usually charge between $1,000 or more, or speeding over 30 miles per hour, where the judge can actually suspend someone's license. In those cases, we may charge $350 to $500. In those two cases, we will follow the traffic law script. Once you've ascertained that it's a civil citation, we want to explain to the potential customer what are the advantages of hiring the Umansky Law Firm to represent them on the ticket. The first thing that we can explain to potential clients is that they can avoid points on their license if they hire a law firm. Now, while we can't make any guarantees, we need to stress to a potential client that they stand a larger chance of not getting points on their license if they hire legal representation. Points are a bad thing. If you get a certain amount of points in a year, for instance 12 points in a year, you can have a driver's license suspension and you can't get to work or school or maintain your livelihood. Points also raise your insurance. The benefit of having a lawyer is that usually when judges or magistrates see a lawyer in court representing a client, they know the client has paid for that representation. And in most cases, if the person doesn't have a horrible record, the judge understands that the benefit of having a lawyer is to withhold those points. And if the judge withholds the points, meaning that you avoid a conviction, your insurance usually will not go up and you won't risk driver's license suspension. The second thing that we tell people is if you hire a lawyer and you avoid a conviction, your insurance rates don't go up. If you get a speeding ticket or any kind of ticket and get points, your insurance can go up 10%, 20%, 30% or more. If your insurance right now sits at $2,000 a year, a 10% increase is more than what most tickets cost. And oftentimes your insurance goes up much higher than 10, 20% when the speeding's a lot or it's a bad accident or something like that. The other thing with insurance, the third thing you can talk to people is insurance cancellation. A lot of times insurance companies don't require you to have a suspension in order to cancel your insurance. If you get enough tickets, not only will your insurance rates go up, some insurance companies will drop you. And once an insurance company drops you, other insurance companies are soon to follow. That is the third benefit to hiring a lawyer, is to avoid that insurance cancellation by avoiding the points. Fourth benefit to hiring a lawyer is a lot of times if you just pay that fine of the ticket, sometimes that fine can be $500 or more. And if we as lawyers go to court, we sometimes can get that fine reduced. There is a little known statute under Florida law that allows the judge to suspend licenses in certain civil citations. Yes, not just for a DUI. If you hire a lawyer, you're usually able to avoid a driver's license suspension. Now, where does that come up? It usually comes up in high speeds, bad accidents, accidents with death. Hiring a lawyer is going to help you avoid a driver's license suspension, and it's really, really a good idea in that particular case to get a lawyer, especially when you have mandatory court appearances. 5, you can do it yourself, but if you're a busy professional or someone that works hard for a living, you're much better off hiring a lawyer to attend court for you so that you don't have to take the time off of work or school to do the same. Going to court requires an hour or so drive to the courthouse, give or take 30 or 40 minutes each way. You're in there for typically an hour waiting for the judge to take the bench, and it could be another hour to 3 hours for the court to call your case. That could be 5 hours out of your day. Another benefit to you as a person trying to seek legal help is to avoid court. Another benefit is to avoid your use of driving schools. Currently in Florida, I believe you get 5 driving schools for your life. Well, those driving schools might be used in specific instances when you know for a fact that going to court is going to cost you too much money, or you need a driving school that's going to help you avoid points on a license. Those driving schools are expensive and they're limited. So if you want to avoid using a driving school or spending 8 hours or 4 hours, depending upon the class, hiring a lawyer may get you out of certain driving schools. Of course, one of the best things about hiring a lawyer is if the witnesses don't show. For instance, in an accident case, the wheel witness doesn't show, you can get the case dropped. A lawyer knows how to ask for that. And also, you might get the case dropped if the cop doesn't show. Without a lawyer, sometimes you have to show up. First of all, you have to show up. And second of all, if you ask the court to dismiss it, there are times that the court will continue the case to get the cop there or the other wheel witnesses there in an accident. In other cases, you're just not guilty and you want to fight the case. You can either do that by showing up with a lawyer, which you'll feel much more comfortable with the court process, or having the lawyer defend the ticket for you. In those cases, hiring a lawyer is instrumental in trying to get the best resolution possible. If you win the hearing, great. No points, no insurance raise, all that's great. If you lose that hearing, you don't want the judge to slam you or convict you and give you points. And oftentimes a lawyer will go to a hearing and win, that's great. If they go to a hearing and lose, they can ask the court to withhold points. The judge is probably more apt to do that with a lawyer than without. These are the 8 or 9 things that are beneficial for you to use when you're trying to intake a potential client seeking representation on a traffic ticket. Costs of traffic tickets vary. In Orange County, we will do most tickets for anywhere from $150 to $200. If it's a speed over 30, we may charge $350 to $500. If a person has a CDL, that means they have a commercial driver's license, we sometimes charge $500 to $1,000. Remember, as a CDL driver, if they lose their license, if their license is suspended, they can lose their ability to work. If it's a traffic fatality, but still a civil citation, we charge $1,000 to $1,500. Why? Even though it's not criminal, that takes a lot of work. The victim's family shows up in court and they want justice. And at the very least, so they know that you're not going to get a criminal charge, they want your license suspended. Having a lawyer in those situations is really important to hopefully avoid a driver's license suspension, and also to avoid being convicted, and in many cases winning the hearing because the government doesn't have the evidence against you. This is the sales script that you would use. These are the benefits of hiring a lawyer. If you use one of these 9 or 10 items that we've presented for you, you will stand a good chance of being able to retain people that are looking for representation on traffic tickets.